Well, good afternoon, 3-1 goers. I wanted to check in, give you guys a little bit of a recap. You'll see most of it, hopefully all of it, on one of our next few videos. But right now, I am trucking, hauling sand with the mistress, with our gravel train. We're actually done for the day. I had a little bit of an early day because I have to meet with my accountant, just get updates and things like that. But I have an air leak. When I step on the brakes, I lose a bunch of air, so I need to fix that, and I need to leave in 30 minutes anyway, so there's no way I can fix it, go back, run another load. So logic says just call it now, head on home, fix it a minute. Alright, I had to answer Casey. He's having some issues with his watch, so I was talking to him a little bit, but talking about the air leak. So I finally just got home, and I'll probably take a look at it here if this video doesn't run too long and I'm able. Otherwise I'll do it when I get home. But air leak on the service side, so not a big deal, but I just gotta find it and figure I'd take care of it. So we had some weather here. Thursday night it was super humid and warm, and they were calling for severe weather, high winds, rain, and we waited for Micah to get done with work. He worked till 8, and I had stuff to do here for a while, so we decided to just wait for him. I'm just a little antsy, sorry. We decided to wait for him, and he got here. We left about 8:30, I think it was, and everybody's messaging me that we're going. Obviously we went racing this weekend. This is what I'm talking about. So we missed most of the rain, but I watched the radar as we went south, and it was real close. And the wind was blowing, and I could see lightning, and there was the sky was real dark off to the west. I got one really good friend that he watches the weather pretty close, and he's nice enough to be concerned about me, so he lets me know when it's in our area. And he's like, "Careful, it's coming, it's coming." And I was flying in the motorhome. We had Stevie. Oh, there's a motorhome right. Let me see if I can do this. Nope, it's over this way. Oh, over this way. Nope. My screen's delayed. I apologize. It's right there. There's Stevie. Anyway, we were driving Stevie, so she's a big billboard, and then I have another trailer, 28-foot trailer behind it, that's a billboard. So we were 65, 70 feet, maybe a little longer, of billboard going on the road with all the wind. But we turned the wipers on a couple times. That was about it. I just fought the wind all the way to Indianapolis and even over. It was on 74. We went to Cleves, Ohio for and I talked about this already, but the King of the Outlaws event. It's called Outlaw Sand Drags, but the class that I run in is called the King of the Outlaws. Excuse me. And we left Thursday night. Got there about 2:30. It might have been a little later because we stopped for fuel, and the wind slowed me down a little bit. I had slowed down a few times. That would make me completely change from one lane all the way to the next when it would hit. It was straight line winds. They said around here 104 mile an hour straight line winds in Spring Lake. I believe there was a few tornadoes that touched down. Just looking for my water, but I can't find it. I have one left in my bag here. So yeah, there are tornadoes. Thank God, by the grace of God, we don't have any damage here. There's probably some trees out in my woods. We have I don't know what you call it, maybe the back 5. I have 10-acre piece here, and we're using the front maybe third of it, so maybe the back 6 or 7, I don't know. Anyway, there might be some trees down, I don't know, but I don't see any damage here. There was some damage in town where I was working in Wyoming, but made it to our fuel stop, which is like Greensville or Greendale, I can't remember. You know, it's the same one I go to all the time. It's a Petro down there. And fueled up, grabbed some snacks or whatever to get going for the last hour, and we took off from there and got to Cleves about, I want to say it was 2:45. I've been told it was 3. I just don't remember. And set everything up the motorhome wise, so we had room to sleep in there, because without, my motorhome doesn't have bunks or nothing. We had 4 extra people with us, 3 kids and my buddy Chum, who is our crew chief. And there's no room to sleep if you don't open the slides up. We rented him a camper, and then the kids just slept in the motorhome. But so we set all that up. I had to go talk to Blake for a little bit. Blake's one of my good buddies down there. He lives down in Brookville, Indiana, and he's one of the ones that invites me to go every year. So thanks, Blake. Really appreciate that. His dad rented us a camper. But we got, I think I got to bed around 4:30, between 4:30 and 5. So it was a long day. I had been up about 24 hours at that point after working all day and then loading the trailer, finished loading and driving down. But I digress. Friday morning, started setting things up, pulled the car out, fired it up. Notice it's still shooting a heck of a flame out of the headers after it warms up. So we thought we had a bad valve adjustment again. So Travis from 616 Motorsports, who pulled off a wing dinger for me, man, in about 8 or 9 days of getting the heads to him, he had them back, repaired back to me and on the motor, ready to, basically all we had to do was finish buttoning up headers and fuel lines and things like that. So thank you, Travis. You're amazing. You do good work. And if anybody is looking for an engine builder, he does, I believe, exclusive racing engines. He might do other stuff too. You can ask him. I wouldn't be afraid to. I don't know if he'd turn anything down or not, but he is the guru when it comes to building motors, and he always takes good care of me. His work ethic is top shelf. And yeah, so he asked me to check the valves, and they weren't quite where he wanted them to be. So he told me to run through them, which I did, and then we ran into 2 rockers that the adjustment wouldn't back out far enough to put the right lash in for the valves. So I start trying to investigate, and we realize or remember that the heads got decked, or they call it decked or milled, about 5,000. So that may not be a big deal normally, but my push rods are already fairly long, and I had a little issue last year with one of them not being able to be adjusted, because when you back them up, the screw goes up in the... This is why I'm struggling with GoPros right now, because it stops randomly. And it's a nice camera. It's hardly even been used. But I'm going to have to buy a new one, I think. So anyway, you back the screw up. It's an upside down screw, so you're in the end of it with an Allen wrench. And the bottom has a cup that the push rod sits in. So it's like this. And if you can't back it up all the way anymore, it's hitting the body of the rocker. Well, I can't give it more lash. And if it's too tight, that's not right. You want it to be just right, at 20 to 22 thousandths of an inch of slop in the, it's not called slop, it's called lash. So anyway, couldn't do it. I couldn't get it apart, or I couldn't get it to move. So I took the rocker off, and then I couldn't get it. It was backed up in that thing so hard, I could not get it out. It's a steel adjuster in an aluminum rocker. Excuse me. I am a mess. I'm sorry. So I threw it in the freezer. It was hot. I threw it in the freezer for about 20-30 minutes, and I went through all the rest of the valves, got everything else adjusted except that one, and I found one more that was the same way. And I spent the rest of Friday looking for a drill bit or a way to machine it, or mill, or somebody that could help me with it, or shorter push rod, because I wasn't going to run it without having it right. No luck. One guy, Daryl, super cool dude. I gotta look up his last name because I don't want to say it wrong, but he is a machinist, and he said, I'll bring you some in the morning. And sure enough, we buttoned it up. We just said we're putting the valve covers back on. We're done for the day. We're going to make qualifying. Put the car in the trailer because it was supposed to storm down there that night, and we didn't want to have to, if the tent started blowing away, we have like a canopy. We didn't want to lose that, have the car get all wet, and then have to deal with putting it in the trailer. So we just put the car in the trailer and kept an eye on the wind and the awning and stuff like that. And honestly, it never got bad. Once again, blessed, thank you, Lord. The storm went all around us. We could see the lightning and the thunder, and the wind picked up just a skosh. I mean, it's wiggling the canopy, but nothing that really made me concerned. So we never even got rain there. I think it sprinkled for like 15 minutes. I shouldn't say we never got rain, but when it rained really short, real light. Fast forward to Saturday morning. I was up super late because there were some kids there that, I mean, we're at a racetrack, so I totally understand noise, but they were racing side-by-side quad and dirt bike on the road next to my motorhome. And when I say next to it, we parked right along the road. If this is the road, we pulled in just like this next to it on each side of it, and then we have our pits on the outsides. And I was concerned because even though I put the valve covers on, it wasn't like buttoned up. The car's too long to fit in the trailer with the wheelie bar on, so we left the back door open. So this is going on from midnight. I fell back asleep. 1 o'clock, heard it again. And I'm not talking about in the distance. I'm talking about right next to my motorhome. So then I heard him going through our pits, and that's when I kind of asked, or thought I better ask for someone to stop doing that. So I laid there way too long until after 2, and my blood pressure was probably beyond healthy at that point because I was so pissed off. I kept thinking they'll stop. I'm not going to bug them. They're having fun. I don't want to be a killjoy. They'll stop eventually, but they did not. And I got my clothes on and walked outside, and one of the kids was getting on it to start the quad up again at like 2:30. And let me just say, we're friends now. We made up the next day, but it wasn't super friendly that night. I don't want to be that guy. I don't care what you do at the track, even if it's noisy down around the corner where nobody's camping, but I don't think you should ride around someone's campsite. They were literally racing around my motorhome. So if they didn't expect me to get mad about that, then maybe they aren't super smart. I don't know, but I don't know who all the kids were. I know of them. But the one that I yelled at came over and apologized to me, and I apologized to him. I said, look, you're not the only one in the wrong. I lost my temper, and I was beyond, I couldn't save it anymore. I was so mad. But I apologize. He did. We're friends. We joked around about it later that night and stuff. So, that being said, it was a long night. It was almost, I'm trying to think. It was like 3:30 when I finally got my heart to calm down. I don't have heart problems or anything like that, but like, it was pounded because I was so mad. Adrenaline, I think. And I finally got it to calm down enough to go to bed, or I was in bed, but try to go to sleep, and right away in the next morning. So that's 2 nights in a row. The first night I was up till 5 a.m., back up at 9, I think. And then Saturday morning up till 3:30 a.m. and phone's going off at 8 because Daryl, thank you Daryl, thank you so much, brought me a bag, Ziploc bag full of numbered drill bits all around the size I need. I was trying to drill the inside of the rocker out, a few of the threads, and I had a tap from Dave Trice. Thank you, Dave, for that. And I was going to try to run the adjuster up deeper into the rocker, but what I didn't know is there was too much. It wasn't the hole that the threads were in that was a problem. It was the body of the rocker. It was just, it's hard to explain. I think I might have some pictures I'll try to insert if I do. Otherwise, they are in the video that we're going to attach with this. If I can make this and the video together without it being too long. So, it, where was I? We fought with it long enough where I was pretty close. I mean, I was never going to give up, but I was pretty close to accepting the fact that I wasn't going to be able to run. I was thinking maybe we'll just put the car away, enjoy the weekend, go cheer on our fellow racers, and have a good time. Because I just didn't want to run it without the valve wash being right. With what happened last time, it was a major deal. Pulling heads off and welding them up and redoing the wire, the wire ring, the fire ring, all that stuff. So, little to no sleep. Didn't feel real. I felt hungover, and I think I only had like a couple of beers on Friday night because I was just so tired, and the adrenaline, it was just such a spike, and then the down. And so at one point we were standing in the trailer, and I just said, like a light bulb went on in my head, and I'm like, because I joked around, sorry, let me back up. I joked around, hey, does anybody got a Bridgeport? Because I can do this on a Bridgeport. I have one here at home, and I'm not by any means experienced at it, but I could have done what I needed to. And I thought, something just popped in my head. I own a die grinder. I have a Milwaukee electric. It's like an air die grinder, but it's electric. I'm like, I own one of those. And I'm like, Micah, look in the drawer of the bottom drawer of the toolbox. The way the car was in the trailer, I couldn't get over the tires because they're so wide. So rather than climb over, Micah was standing on the other side helping us. And he opened the drawer, and there's a Milwaukee die grinder with the knurl bit, exactly what I needed to do this job. Yes, I wasted all day Friday, and I want to say until 11 o'clock Saturday morning fiddling around with that thing. So I handed it to Chum. I'm like, you want to do this? And he went outside. In like 2 minutes he came back, full of metal, of course. I blew it out with brake clean, air, cleaned it all up, put it in. It worked perfectly. So I handed him the other one, another 2 minutes, he had it right. So all that time, just because I forgot I had that tool. But I'm thankful that we did. So we got it in. I lashed all the rest of the valves, adjusted them, pulled it outside, fired it up. It's still shooting a fireball out of it, or a flame. Checked the adjustment again. They were off a little. I don't know how. I don't know if it's just because they weren't moving, but I just don't know. I didn't have a 22 thousandths gauge, which is what he wanted on it when it was hot. I had a 20. So I was trying to do a loose 20, and I might have just not had the estimation correctly. But an old timer was there, and he come up, he put his hand on my shoulder. He goes, don't second guess yourself. You did them right. They're fine. So I stopped adjusting them. I put the valve cover back on. We fired it up. It was still shooting flames out after about a 2-minute run, just idling. So I called Travis. Travis said to try to lean out the barrel valve. So we did that. It didn't make a difference, I don't think. So then he told me to go the other way. So we went the other way, and at that point I was like, if you're good with it, it's still shooting a flame out. It's been doing it for 2 years. It's always done it. We don't know why. I said, I'm going to go. He's like, yep, run it. So put everything back together, filled it up with fuel. All the batteries are charged. I mean, we were prepared. Even though like an hour sooner, I was thinking we're not racing this weekend. And that would have been a bummer, because after everything we went through with the heads and the burst panels and the rear end of the car and everything that everyone did, and the expense of going down there, it happens, so I'm not crying about it, but we went and made it pass. No one, it's, for those of you that know, sorry for the poor explanation, for those of you that do not know, we race 300 feet, and in this class, the king of the outlaws, they call it, it's a 295 breakout, also called top eliminator, which means you can go 300 feet in 2.95 seconds. And if you do, you're probably going to win. But if you go 2.9499, you lost. You broke out. The race is over. That's it. Not a car there. Most cars were in the mid to high 3-second passes. The track was dry. It wasn't like normal. The fastest pass laid down, I believe, Friday night. So we missed it. If you look at the thing, it said 12:24 did not qualify. We didn't even get out there to qualify. So Friday or Saturday, would have been my second pass, which was my first one. But you're only allowed 3. I might have to finish this later. I don't know what time my meeting was. I just remembered that. Give me a second. Okay, I got a couple more minutes. 3:10 was the fastest pass that had been laid down between Friday night and anybody that went before me on Saturday. We went out there and ran a 2:96 with a 4. 2.964 seconds. That is very good pass. It's very good, period. But for a track that all these fast cars that normally run fast, we're only running 3:10s on, it's pretty amazing. So we were really happy. And then 2 other guys also ran that same pass, or ran a very good pass in the 6s, we call it 2.96. One was a little faster than me and one was a little slower than me. Adam Rowe ran a 2.96 with a 4. I think ours was I think I just told you wrong. Ours was like a 2.96 with a, no. Ours was a 4, his was a 2. And Kyle Farwick ran a 2.96 with a 6 or an 8. So we were all within like 3 or 4 thousandths of a second, I believe, if I'm thinking of the decimal point correctly. So it was like, wow, the track's coming around, or we got our poop in a group, however you want to say it, the 3 of us. And that put me, I was number 1 qualifier for 1 second, and then, no, I was not, because I ran against Adam, and Adam went. So right there, that put him and I in number 1 and number 2, which was almost my goal. I wanted the number 1 qualifier position because I wanted the extra points for it. So we made one. I'm totally goofing up here. I'm gonna have to edit all this out, but we went out and made a pass, and we ran a 2.97, and everyone else in that session was over 3 seconds. 3:10, I believe, was the fastest one. So for about 2.5 hours, we were top qualifier with a 2.97. Then we went out for our third, and 3 of us ran 2.96s, all within about 4 thousandths of a second. Adam Rowe ran a 2.96 with a 2, I ran a 2.96 with a 4, and Kyle Farwick ran a 2.96 with a 8, I think it was, but so close. So we were 1, 2, 3. And that put us in order for our eliminations to start after that. I'm going to pause this, switch vehicles, and we'll keep going. Okay. It might take a lot of editing because I don't remember where we were now. But phone calls and switching vehicles, I just get a little confused with things. But second qualifier, we ran a 2.96, and so did the other 2 guys. So that put us 1, 2, 3 in qualifying. So then I've been trying to tell this story to you guys, so I don't have to keep telling it to everyone I talk to. I can just say, hey, check out the video. It might be easier for me, but that set us up for a 16-car pair up. I was number 2 qualifier. We got what they call a competition bye. The first 2 cars did, because the 2 opponents we were supposed to be paired up against, and there's a way they do this. I don't want to explain it right now, but it's an NHRA ladder. They take the fastest car with the slowest car, and they just keep doing that all the way down until you have 8 pairs. You have your 16 cars. I guess I did explain it. There you go. Adams and my competitor that we were supposed to race had a mechanical failure and were not able to make the race, but they told everybody about it up front. So we got what was called competition bye run, which means we can run by ourselves. But up here in Michigan, when you get a bye run, you can't screw it up. You got to go break the beams. You don't even have to make the pass. Sometimes you can if you're, some guys are having trouble once in a while with mechanical things, and they might go ask, hey, their opponents, do you guys, what do y'all think about us? Do we need to make the pass or not? Do we have to break the beams? Yes or no? And some of the competitors, I've been there before, where they say, yeah, we want you to break the beams, because they'll slow you down from fixing stuff. If you have to, say you got a head off, or you're doing something, or the rear end's out and you got to change it, they don't want you to have any advantage. I personally, I want it to be as fair as possible. I want you to come to the line with as much as you got to come after me, and then let's see who's really got it, what it takes. That's the way I want to race all the time. So I'm going to give you time, unless you didn't give me time once, and then that's a whole different story, but we'll talk about that some other time. So in Michigan, the rules are you have to break the beams, which means I can roll the car out there, stage it, wait for the light to go down, let the clutch out, make the timer start, and shut it off, and we can tow it back, and we're done. That's how things are normally. But we weren't in Michigan, and the rules at this track, I believe it goes by the track. It might be just by the series. I don't know. Might be by both. But they, sorry, I'm watching traffic and whatnot. You have to make your buy run. You have to break the beams. You have to finish the end of the track, or, go through the end of the track. You cannot red light. You're not allowed to. You'll lose your spot and you're out of the race if you red light. And you can't break out, which means if you run out there and run too fast and go faster than 295, you lose. You lost against nobody. Like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. And maybe I'm just not been around racing long enough to know, but around our area, that's not how things are. Down there, if I would have taken the pass, which I had to take the pass, if I would have taken the chance to run the car like everyone else got to run their car in the first round and realize the changes that were going on in the track, because the temperature is getting colder, I automatically know my car is going to go make more power. The moisture was coming out of the ground. That makes the track faster. More hook, we call it, more traction. And those other guys got to run them. Now, they still risk breaking out, but the thing that I say is, if you don't have a car next to you to judge, if I know I'm running against a 350 car over there, all I got to do is beat him to the end of the line, and I won't lose and I won't break out. But if there's nobody over there and I run my car all out to see if, okay, do I need to pull some power out of this thing? I have nothing to judge it by. So if I ran, the race would have been over for me per those rules. And I'm not complaining, because I absolutely love the King of the Outlaws event, and I love the whole Outlaw Sandreg series. It's just different, and I just figured I would follow their rules. But even some of the other competitors that I really have a lot of respect for said, I'm worried about Doug and Adam, because they don't get to see how the track is. Because we both went into the beams, pre-staged, separately, of course, because we each had our own buy run. Staged, broke the beams, and I let the clutch out, and the car idled all the way down the track. That's all I could do to ensure that I could go on to the next round. But the other, whatever was left at that point, I'd say 6 cars that were left after the 16, because would have been 8 of us left over after 16. So the 2 of us didn't know what we could run, basically. So that was what I was faced with. And when you're tuning a car, you got to use everything at your disposal to know what to do. So I did that. I accessed the data out of the car, the water grains in the air, barometric pressure, all that stuff. Contacted my engine builder, our old crew chief that used to help me. He's messaging me, talking to me. Everyone gave me some information. I made the final call, and we didn't take any power out. We were gonna, no, I'm sorry. After our qualifying run, we decided whether we were gonna add power or not, and we didn't add any power. We just let it go, because I knew the thing would come around later. And we weren't far off from our goal, so I didn't want to break out like some of the guys did. So, talking to my buddy Matt Willis, he's the one that used to crew chief for me. He was home, he's watching, and he's like, we got to take some power out. So I agreed. We did a little bit, not much. Made a pass. Still too fast, but we won the race. We ran a 2:95 with a 1 behind it. I don't know how many times I've told this story on this camera now, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not repeating myself. But we were 1/1000th of a second. Well, technically 2 1,000ths of a second from being too fast and losing the race. A 2:95 with a 0 would have been okay. A 2:94 with a 9 would have been out. So, by the grace of God, we stayed in for that round. Then we decided to, or the next pass we had was a car that wasn't capable of quite running with us. I don't know how to say it because I'm not being disrespectful. There were 16 cars out there that were bad dudes, man. Every one of them were putting in work and putting down some passes. And congratulations to everyone that's out there that ran this weekend, because there was some cars that I'd seen that struggled over the years that were doing really well. I mean, this is only my 3rd year trying to compete in this, so I don't know anything really. I'm just trying to learn as I go and learn from everybody. But we figure we had the other car covered. All I had to do was finish ahead of them. So rather than risk going too fast again, I just went out there, and when we say pedal, means we lift. We don't hold the throttle pedal down. We kind of like, I think I hit it like 3 times, and we beat them, and we kept it pretty close. It wasn't trying to be a jerk to him or anything like that. I didn't want to go too fast, and if he's not next to me, I want to run as fast as I can without being too much faster than him. Basically, that's the way this thing goes. Getting bright out here. So, on to the finals we go. So the first round was a bye. Second round we raced Kathy Ellington. She's a great competitor. One of my nemesis is she's always kicking my butt. So we love racing with her. I love all them people. Everyone there are amazing, good-hearted, always willing to help, good sports, everything. And I love that group of people. It's fun to race. Obviously, winning would be make it the best, but just being there with them is what I love. So Kathy was round 2. I think it's Austin Bullock, if I have that right. Super nice guy. Brand new car, turbo LS, beautiful chassis. I think it's a Dreer chassis. Got him 3rd round, and on to round 4, which is the final, and Adam Rowe and I faced off. So that's when things were getting dicey, because it was getting colder and the track was getting crazy good. I don't know what that was. And we put it in the beams, and so did he, and we had to wait a while. It feels like we sat next to each other for quite a while, and I was just kind of in a zone. I didn't have anything to say, so nobody was really talking, and got to the other end. And usually earlier in the day when the weather's good, it's a strange system. Their lights and everything are all wireless there, and they're fast during the day. I think at night when there's humidity in the air, the signal slows down. I don't know. I don't understand it completely, but I can see my time when I roll by it in the afternoon. In the evening, it's totally different. So time didn't show. Wind light didn't come on either side. I watched for both of ours when we went by. And went around the corner, shut the car off, and I'm trying to get out. And Adam got out of his car quicker and came over to, he's such a good sport. And I want to be like these guys that are always good sports. And we're talking, and he didn't indicate whether he thought he won, and I sure as heck didn't know if I won or not. I know it was close because we were tire to tire on the line there. But his dad came around the corner and told us that we both broke out, so we were both too fast, but he broke out a little more than I did, so we got the win. And it could not feel better. Like, he is the king of the Outlaws, 3 years reigning champion, and a great guy, great family. They know how to tune a car. His car is probably, to me, the coolest car that is out there. It's a dragster like mine, a little shorter, I think, but it's a Volkswagen 4-cylinder turbo on, I believe, nitromethane. I mean, I don't know how much, but it's definitely running nitromethane. And he's running times with me with a big block Chevy, making a lot of power. So it's kudos to those guys. Adam Rowe, you are a class act, and your dad, Daryl. Everybody that you guys rolls with, you guys, top shelf people. I have tons of respect for you, and I'm super thankful to get to line up next to you. I think it's making me a better person, being able to be around people that are good sports, good for the sport, everything like that. It's just, it was a fun race, and I could not be more thankful. I'm humbled the fact that the people that helped me and put me in the position to do the things I like to do, like in that way. And just want to thank all you guys that helped me. John, Sorg, Chum, Kyle Elliott, Sugar, she's always there with me. Our kids are super supportive. Rick Ensing, I mean, right to the last minute the night before we left, he's doing stuff for me. And Sean Ross, same way, he's building things to help the car be better. And Dylan Lemke, he spent Monday or Tuesday night and most of Wednesday with me on the car. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going, so sorry for the distraction here. Just want to make sure I didn't pass it. I'm not sure how this video is going to come out, guys. I apologize. It's been chopped up and I forget where I was when I left off with you. But after being at the accountant's office, my head's a little spinny. So let's just say, when we were talking about the racing, it was an amazing weekend. It was really full of like ups and downs as far as emotional, with the car and not knowing if we're gonna run, and then running really good, and then just having to face some fierce competitors. And I'm thankful that I am alive and I get the blessing to do this kind of stuff. So really do enjoy it. But we won. We won the King of the Outlaw event, and I still think it's kind of surreal. Might not be a big deal to the guys that have won it or the people that don't know what it's about, but for me, it's something I've always wanted to do, and my team and I were able to pull off a win, and we're super thankful. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the race, the video we put together for the race. I did a few different things this time. It's so hard for me to film when we're there. We filmed some working on the car, and we filmed a lot of the passes and different things, but I get so wrapped up into it that I don't have time to take the extra time to film the shots that these good YouTubers are doing. And I want to learn it, and I want to do better at that. I really do. It's my goal to continue to change and evolve and be a good, I don't know if I could say filmmaker, but somebody who makes videos that people want to watch. But there's a little guy there that had this super cool Jeep, and he raced it for the first time, I believe, this weekend, and I didn't get a chance to watch him because we were busy, but I went over and did an interview with him, so I hope you guys like it and you give him some love in the comments, because it was pretty amazing to be able to see him and see how happy he was, and the kid knew his stuff. I want to say he was probably 5 years old, and his Pops, he called him, Pops made him this car. He built this Jeep, and it was a carbon fiber body, and it was all electric, and really super cool. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if this thing runs long, I might make it in 2 parts. I might make this be a single video and just give you the race video afterward, but regardless, really appreciate all you guys. We continue to get new subscribers every day, every couple days, getting lots of views on our shorts. I'm thankful for that, so please continue to watch, like, share, subscribe, turn a notification bell on, because you might not even know that I put a video out every Wednesday and every Sunday. And I say every a little bit loosely because I had some issues with the upload last week. Either my internet was messed up, or YouTube server, or something in between, but it took me like 2.5 days to get a video to go up, and I was a little late on starting the upload, but I figured I had at least 12 hours, and it didn't go for almost a day and a half after that. So that being said, thanks again for watching. Hope you like it, and I always say keep the rubber side down when I'm trucking, because that's, I guess, my thing. But 3-1 go.